Um, Tony and I have been excited to work with our wonderful young scholars and artists to um, kind of involve our young people in this important effort to help spread the word in our community about opioid addiction and how there is hope and resources to help people to overcome. So what we want to focus on tonight is, again, the wonderful talents that were displayed by our young people. So I'll start off just by, this was the prompt that we used to get the creative juices flowing in our young people. The thing was healthy brains and hearts, keeping your brain healthy to make the best choices. As we learned in our Tuesday night sessions on many occasions, opioids impact your brain in a powerful way, and they literally take over your brain and make you basically want to only just want to take more opioids. And that leads to problems where overdoses can happen. And we learned about naloxone, a drug that can help people from dying in the case when they overdose. So we wanted to bring the message home to our young people. So we came up with this theme, and these characters were drawn by my oldest son, Otto. And so this is Brian and Brianna, and this is Brian's brain and Brianna's brain. Right? And so the mission that our children embarked on was Brian and Brianna have a friend who's very sad because their family is dealing with a serious issue related to opioid drug challenges. You were tasked with helping Brian and Brianna raise awareness about the opioid drug crisis and how opioids affect the brain. So they were to develop a message for their friend to instill hope and share their message in the poster. Right? And then for extra points, they could make a creative story or provide more details about the great work. So if any of our talented artists are here, when we get to your poster, there's no pressure, but if you'd like to, I would love for you to explain a little bit to our wonderful people participating tonight, what inspired you, some of the ideas, some of the nuances about your poster. Right? Tony, do you have anything you'd like to say before we start showcasing the wonderful posters? I'll give Tony a chance to speak a little bit later. Right? I think Tony might be having a little bit of problems with audio. Right? So, be excited to see our award-winning poster. So, we talked about a competition, but the artwork was so great that everybody is a winner. So we're going to provide gift cards to everybody who participated, and then we can make special note about each poster because each one is special in its own way. So this is from Jasmine Jones. All right, Jasmine wrote a powerful message: no drugs in the Boys and Girls Clubs. All right, no drugs in the Boys and Girls Club. So what we're going to do is we'll cycle through all of them, then we'll come back for anyone to ask any questions or to point out any points about it. Right? This next poster, it really caught my eye. It's amazing the patterns in here, and I could go on and on. This is just, I know it's one from one of our little ones, but it's just like eye catching. I think the name Guadalupe each. So we'll let Tony say that one. All right, but it's a wonderful poster. Okay. Here's one from David. David has a very short and sweet message: no drugs. All right, no drugs. This is by Valencia. No drugs. Right? No cigarettes, I believe. Right? No prescription pills. No cigarettes. Thank you, Valencia. Right. So as we go through the first time, we'll just kind of get a view, and then we'll go back through and ask any questions or have comments. All right. This is from Emmanuel Gold. All right. He had one of the unique aspects where he actually made a three-dimensional poster with a flip chart. And on the flip chart, he had additional pictures. And his message is, eat one. It could be normal if you take, basically as the doctor prescribed your medicines. And if you eat one normal, it's okay. If you eat one strange one, that might be okay. But if you eat lots of them, lots of the strong ones, that's bad. So that was a very powerful message in terms of take your medication as you should, but if you take too much, it could lead to problems and impact your brain. Now, this one, it's a very unique, creative way to talk about how opioids and drugs in general, and opioids in particular, are a slippery slope where you're walking along and you could hit the point where you slip and end up in trouble. Right? So it says drug-free, strong, healthy, and happy. Sometimes curiosity gets the best of us. Try just once. That once might lead to twice. 3 times, 4 times, can't stop now. You're sliding down the slippery slope and in danger. So this is a powerful message to warn people to basically not take that first step and not get themselves into trouble. Hey, Tony, are you on? Okay, Tony's still having a little. Some of the posters were made by some of our wonderful scholars at the Boys and Girls Club, so I didn't get some of the names. So when Tony can join us, he'll be able to give the names. But this is a colorful and very impressive poster where it has different types of drugs and drug paraphernalia. And it says drugs are bad when they're abused. Drugs are bad, particularly opioids. Stay clean. If not, you will regret it. All right. This poster was a group project from Enoch and Grace's children, the Amperson boys. So they said, opioids are risky. Get naloxone, get informed, get help, stay protected. So it's like a wonderful public service announcement, from the Amperson boys. Good job. This poster is from Arm. He's a young scholar that I work with from New York, and he basically has a battle happening in your brain where the opioids are almost like warriors wielding weapons, and they're basically trying to do damage to your brain. This was from Corey McKinney, a wonderful poster. Look deeply. He gave a lot of words to describe what was happening, and he used a great vivid image of opioid drugs being a vicious circle road where it leads to bad things happening. So it says vicious, bad, not right. All stuff is true. Some people just don't know where it will lead. Opioid drug use is a bad thing. It makes people go crazy. Only a few people can stop it. You can help by asking questions. Corey, that is so important. I always tell my students, ask lots of questions. And even better, work to find solutions to those questions. People will pay you lots of money if you can answer the questions. Everybody has questions, right? So engineers and doctors, and we all have to answer questions. And even our pastor answers a lot of questions. So, but key to learning is asking questions. And we have a lot to learn about how to help with this opioid crisis because so many people are losing their lives over it. It's a vicious circle road is not a place to live. So he has different places along vicious circle road. People who don't get care for don't care for their trauma end up here. That's a mental hospital. Some people could end up in jail. Some people will commit crimes to get drugs. Foster homes, where your kids get sent if you're involved in a vicious cycle of drugs and you can't care for them properly. And then in the hospital, the government will take your baby if you're, let's say, mothers who are addicted to drugs or having problems, and put them in a foster home. So this is an important warning to let people know that it's important to get the help that they need if they're dealing with opioid problems so that they can not end up on any of these possible places along vicious circle road. Thank you, Corey. This was a very, very graphic but powerful message related to drugs. And it looks like the person is literally morphing in the drugs, and the drugs are in back of them, pulling on them. And they see a picture of their family where they're still trying to remain not to be consumed by the drugs, basically. Very, very graphic depiction, very, very creative message, which shows the terrible nature of opioids and other drugs. And then we have this poster. Your dry bones can awaken. Just keep fighting until you can feel the beauty on the other side. Right? So it's a beautiful rendition of a skeleton. I actually study bones, so anything with dealing with bones or skeletons always catches my attention. The friend, the child, mom, neighbors. So it shows the darkness on one side and then a transition to life and light on the other side. Beautiful imagery, beautiful message, very, very creative. Okay. So I'll stop there and open it up for comments or questions. What we'll do now is we'll go back through each wonderful entry. And if anyone would like to say any words about it, or even if the artist who created the work is online with us, we can give them a chance to say a few words. All right. So I see Cameron. So Cameron, when your poster comes up, please feel free to speak about it. Brother Enoch, if your children on, they can talk about their posters. But now we'll open up, we'll go back to the beginning of the posters and open up for any comments or words of encouragement to the artists. Okay. All right. Anyone want to say anything related to Jasmine Jones's poster? No drugs in the Boys and Girls Club.
Obviously, Jasmine is one of our youth. Do you hear me, Mr. Otto?
Yes, thank you, Brother Tony.
Jasmine is one of our youth at the Boys and Girls Club, and her expression with the heart up there of love, basically she's saying, be a person of love, and we don't want any drugs in the Boys and Girls Club.
Excellent. Beautiful message. Does anyone else want to say anything about this poster?
I think another way to look at this poster is also to kind of say like, hey, this is our safe place. We don't want that up in here, kind of.
Yeah.
This is
That's true.
and we don't want that here. So I think it's loud and clear. I like how the no is like so much more bolder than the other words. So I think that's really powerful.
Thank you.
Excellent. Any other comments? I love that use of neon orange. That's great. See that clear. Okay. Here's the next one. So, like I said, this just catches my eyes. I love it. You can tell it was made by a very young creative person, but it's like the little figures take on a life of their own. So, Tony, you have any other insights?
This is Mr. Romario, who's quite expressive and also one of our autistic young men. So
yeah.
He put his own spin into everything. I think there are a lot of stories in there. You can only use your imagination to grasp the depths of the things that he put together here. So this was surprisingly effective. You just have to know how to read it.
Yes, it is true. It's amazing. I'd say that really.
Yeah.
It seems like if you look at the upper left, that person there has changed from who they are there down all the way to the bottom.
Exactly.
More of a monstrous type of creature.
Wow, okay.
So it's kind of like a progression. That's how I see it.
Exactly.
Okay.
That's what it seems like he is doing. As a normal person, looking normal, begins to go to the right, and you take each other to take on animalistic features. And at the bottom is just totally, as she said, turned into a monster. So the drugs turn you into a monster.
Wow.
This is Lionel. I have another interpretation of this. I could see this as maybe a young person that might be living in an environment with a lot of people who are maybe trying to push, drugs, drug dealers and stuff. And so maybe that person has to it's like a maze, and they kind of have to avoid all of the people that are trying to like push them drugs or give them do them harm. So they might be surrounded by people that might be trying to give them things that might be harmful, and they have to kind of navigate their way around them, through them.
Thank you for that.
Excellent. Any other comments? That's a wonderful interpretation. I noticed this really struck me, but seeing a person morph into a monster under the influence of drugs, that's wow. It's one description out of the mouth of babes. This is just, powerful. Okay, if no other comments on this one. Oh, and I'm willing to act as the agent for any of our authors. If anyone would like to buy preprints or commissions from the artwork, just let us know and we'll work a deal with you. Just joking. All right. All right. This is from David. Simple message, no drugs.
I like the simplicity of this message, like just very direct. Just don't do it. Like, no.
He intentionally reversed the N.
Okay.
So just want you to be aware of that. This is one of our younger person's elementary school, but he intentionally reversed the end. So there's a
Oh,
hidden message in that.
okay.
Also, it speaks to the simplicity of a life that doesn't have drugs involved in it.
Hmm,
Very cool.
very nice. Hmm. And the red N, N-O, red no. Stop. Don't do it. Like it.
Mhm.
Extra emphasis. Great job. All right. Now this one, I love the use of color. It has the divisions, no drugs, no. So you might know we have a new puppy, and so we've been using that word a lot. No, don't do this, no, don't do that. So it's important to have that boundaries established in terms of what's good to do and what's not good to do, and definitely no for drugs. Good job, Valencia.
Yeah, it's a great depiction here because, you know, she has the pills at the top and it looks like the weed at the bottom. I can't tell what's in the middle, but it looks like it probably is a jar for drugs in it. I don't know for sure.
Yeah, it might be
But,
prescription. Mhm.
Yeah.
Or a cigarette box, maybe.
Yeah.
But I think this was an excellent depiction.
Could the split color also represent a pill, the pink and the white, like a pill itself?
Yes.
Good. Yes.
That's a really good observation.
I'm sorry. What's that?
I said that was a really good observation.
Yes.
Yeah.
I liked it when I saw it.
Very nice. Any other comments on this poster? Okay, here's the next one.
So,
I'm sorry. Go back. Yes, Lionel.
no, I think so. So I think just for clarity, so I think somebody else had said, were they basically saying that like no drugs, no matter what the form of it is, I guess, right? So we're
That's
looking
good
at.
too. Yes.
Yeah,
Good,
yeah.
good observation.
This was by Emmanuel Gold, a young scholar that I work with. He loves science and loves math. And so I asked him to enter a competition and he cranked this out really quickly. The opioids. Right?
One thing I like about this one is how the I is crossed out on the second person.
Okay.
Kind of as if to say, hey, like when you take drugs, you lose sight of stuff. So I
Oh, that's
think
deep. Okay. Very deep.
It also shows the brain shrinkage.
hmm
Huh.
That was intentional. You have to study this to really, because you can get a lot from this. I like the comprehensiveness of what was done here. Like I said, I see the brain shrinkage in each phase.
Very interesting.
Not only the brain, but the person, like the body.
Yes.
Smaller and smaller. Like you go from this person of maybe power to like this person with no power.
Yeah, there are some powerful messages in some of these drawings that you have to really look into them to make sure you don't miss anything.
What is underneath the flap?
So he had a picture of, this was a good drug, and then he had a picture of one strange one like this one down here, the bigger one. And then he had a bunch of little pills by taking too much. And then that's bad. So it's three flaps and pictures on the flaps.
So
I'm sorry, go ahead, Brolano.
you're probably going to mention those plus, I think plus signs down there. It looks like. I'm guessing that means multiple drugs, taking a lot of them. The pluses down at the bottom at the head, kind of like in the middle.
Yeah, I was trying to get Emmanuel on. I don't think Emmanuel. I don't know if he was able to join with his mother. Emmanuel, did you join us? But
I'm online. That he's in his tutoring.
Oh, hi, Jenny. Welcome.
Hi.
Okay. So this was the poster that Emmanuel made. So
Yeah,
any
it's
insights on?
really it's really thoughtful.
Yes.
Very much
Showing
so.
the deterioration of the person essentially.
Yes.
I think he's trying to say about misusing drugs.
Yes.
Because like that drugs can be, medicine can be good, but there's misuse of drugs that will destroy you.
Yes. Because he says, eat one, it's normal. You're okay. Eat one strange one, could be okay. But if you eat lots of it, or ones that are too strong, that's bad.
Mhm.
And I love what Tony and Shadane said about the shrinking brain, the shrinking person. And also it looks like the drug is getting bigger.
Yeah.
So as being like a more of a scary thing or more dangerous impact.
That's where he's saying eat lots of strong ones. So he says eat one normal one. At first, you start out you eating what you're supposed to or whatever, and 1 year you're okay. And then it says eat one strong one, so it's now grown. And then it says eat lots of strong ones, and they really have a bad effect. So you're progressing. Again, this is very, very intuitive. There's very direct messaging in this. So I really like what he has done in the comprehensiveness of this message.
Excellent.
How old is he?
So man was 9.
Wow, that's a lot.
That's very
I'm very proud of him for that.
Yeah.
Very proud.
Excellent. Any other comments for this poster? I'm sorry, did someone want to say something? All right, excellent.
Yeah,
Yes, Brother Enoch?
yeah, that is a good illustrative picture, trying to let us know you take the drug through your mouth, and when you take more than necessary, it has effect on your brain.
Mhm.
Yeah, so it make it simple for every individual to understand it, that taking too much drug is dangerous to your brain.
Excellent.
Actually, I'm sorry, I don't know if anybody mentioned this, but I think that's an equation down there. I just really realized that.
Okay.
It's the drugs plus the eating a lot of drugs plus the person equals, and then I think it's a smaller brain. So
I think you're right.
Yes, very nice.
And I think he's showing maybe the multiplying effect of the drugs, like that you get addicted as well.
Yeah, that's why I was saying that one is very comprehensive. You got to study it to get a grasp of all the messages, whether direct or subliminal. Very well done.
Excellent. Okay. So our next poster, it's a great imagery of the slippery slope that drugs and particularly opioids can convey. So please, share some insights on this poster. Anyone who would like to. Tony, actually, I'm sorry. Do you have the name of the person?
Oh, I'm sorry. It may be on the back of the poster. I'll have to look.
Let me, no, yeah, we'll get, so we want to, again, these are great entries, so we're going to reward each of the participants with a gift card. So I'll just make sure we get that information. Any comments on this one? So as a mathematician, we learn about slopes, and a lot of children are doing algebra. So it's nice to have that analogy in here where you're walking along, everything's fine, and whoop, down the slippery slope. Sudden, unexpected, but can be deadly. So we have to be very wary and also on our guard and have healthy brains that can think and make the right decisions if tempted.
So this is I think is definitely a powerful message. I think a lot of people don't realize that, how many many people might die just from the first time they try something. So yes, there is a possibility that you can take one and eventually you get hooked on it, but there's also a possibility that you can overdose, or you can be, or something can be released, or a bunch of other things that could happen the first time you try something. And so, I think this is very powerful in saying that, it's a very slippery slope, even just trying, just a curiosity of just trying one. Don't do it.
Excellent.
I agree with that, because when it talks about 3 times and 4 times, it may not be the first time or the third time. Maybe it's the 4th time that does something to you. So the slippery slope is, hey, you keep trying this, eventually you end at the bottom of the slippery slope.
Mm.
Yep. And then of course, how easier it is, right, to start taking more once you take that one, like once you get onto that slope. So
yes.
I like too how at the top it says "we," which kind of like represents like an overall sense of happiness, like, oh, life is really good, and then there's that social curiosity, like, like there's other people doing this, possibly. What's this all about? Like, can this add to my happiness? So I love the word curiosity. I think that's pretty powerful, coupled with slippery slope. Like sometimes curiosity, there's that old saying, like, curiosity killed the cat, so
Yes.
it kind of falls into that. Like, hey, sometimes being curious can be good, but not when it comes to drugs. Like, that's definitely a slippery slope. And like piggybacking off of what Lionel said, like it could be the first time, or Miss McKinney, like, hey, it could be the first time, and like that could be all she wrote. The end result could be pretty devastating.
Excellent. Beautiful comments. Wonderful. Very enlightening also. So much appreciated. Anyone want to share any more about this one? We'll move on. Any other insights or thoughts on this one? If not, this is another one of our submissions from a scholar from the Boys and Girls Club.
Yeah, this is Pandora. It is busy, but it shows a multiplicity of things. It's showing the pills, the needle, looks like the weed, looks like someone snorting some coke there at the bottom above the thank you. And then something in a vial. So it's showing, and I can't see what the words say.
So the one says check your drink, and I believe it's a warning.
Oh yeah,
about you, somebody spiking your drink or putting some drugs in your drink, which does happen sometimes with people, yes. Especially older people when they go out and stuff. You have to be careful. Somebody will put something in your drink, and next thing you know, you're acting, you're influenced by some drugs and you didn't even know you took it. So there's a multiplicity of ways the drugs can enter your system on here.
Mm-hmm.
This is pretty thorough. That was a vape down there. I thought it was something else. So no, it said no shots. So that's a needle. And then it says no vapes at the bottom left. So, a lot of people aren't vaping regular stuff. They're vaping narcotics. And it has a more potent effect on them to do that. And so this young lady was actually pretty thorough in the variety, it's saying ways of opioids, in the variety of ways that she is saying that people can get caught up in them.
I like the way, sorry.
Go ahead, please.
I like the way that she used 2 colors, red and black.
Mm-hmm.
It was very striking.
Very nice.
And sometimes, when we're discussing things, we discuss it with the children in general terms. But what she did was plant the ideas so that children would think more broadly about the types of ways these things can get into your system. And I think that's good because it opens discussion, with your kids about all those other ways.
Excellent point. Excellent point. Any other comments, questions, or features to point out for this one?
I like how, like she says, stay clean. If not, you'll regret it. Like the consequences are going to be great, might enjoy it for a moment, but that immediate gratification is going to be nothing compared to the regret you'll feel later. So
that's so true.
she underlined, you'll regret it.
Mhm.
I kind of like that.
Yes. Thank you for those insights.
Excellent. All right, here's our next. All right, this is from the Amperson Young Men Scholars. Opioids are risky. Get naloxone. Get informed. Get help. Stay protected. Is Brother Enoch? Do you have your boys? Do anyone like to say anything about their post, or would you?
Yeah, I want one of them to say something about it.
Okay.
Hello, this is
Hello.
Akosi.
Hi, Kwesi.
So I wanted to explain the poster. The poster was like mainly for like community members. This is like a kind of poster like that. And it basically just outlines what the poster says in big letters that risky, and that they're not something that you should be taking too much of.
Excellent.
Dr. Otto, one thing that's really good about this, in a lot of cases, there was discussion about staying off of drugs, but this is maybe the first, I don't know if the only, that directs the audience towards solutions. So the solution of using naloxone, the solution of getting educated or informed, the solution of finding help. So they have some powerful solutions. It's a different approach for sure.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Because
like
a lot of people don't know what to do.
Yes.
They know the problem exists. It may exist in their own home. They may not know what to do. Here is giving you some solutions.
Definitely. And the block letters are nice and clear. It's easy to read.
Yes.
Even from a distance. The young character there has his thumbs up. So things will be okay. Opioids are risky. There's hope. And I like it's a positive message. You can be proactive in getting resources together to help, whether it's yourself or others in the community. So great job. Any other comments?
I like that they use the word risky. A lot of times we, put the caution flag or the stop sign. I like that the caution word makes you think beyond the normal, hey, stop, halt. And the child looks positive, the child looks happy, and the child looks like, hey, I already know this is not where I'm going.
Very good. I love that.
So I also like the repetition. The get naloxone, get informed, get help. I like that as well. And the fact that the gets are all in red like that. So it really grabs your attention. And people navigate to repetition in general.
Hmm.
You know, I'm not going to give you all the billions of examples, but you know, we kind of navigate to repetition, and we like that. We like that repetition. And so I like that repetition there, and it really kind of grabs your attention. And the fact that all the gets are all one color there. I also think that this would be a great poster for anybody who is maybe on the fence about getting help. You know, they're already kind of in a troubled spot, and they can see this, and this can be some inspiration to, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and get help. You know, I see how, you know, it's a very simple, strong message, and they may just see the attractiveness and how simple this is. You know, it doesn't have to be complicated, even though there's a billion things that reasons I can think not to, but it's very simple. Go get help, and then you can be happy and you can stay protected.
Someone in the chat said that I love that they said stay protected.
Excellent. Excellent points.
I like how, like, I just like it in general, but get informed, like, you know, educate yourself, understand like the impacts of it. Education is powerful. And if you happen to miss that step, like, it's okay. You know, it's not shaming. You know, I like the positivity of the face. Like, dude, like, it's okay to get help. Like, you're in a space, it's okay. Thumbs up.
Nice.
Help is okay.
Excellent. Okay. Any other comments?
Yeah. Yeah, I like they are educative because they are telling you the risks involved and also giving you the solution. And if you go by the solution, you will be happy. So it's like they are able to capture everything to make everything complete. So if you follow the poster, you will be fine.
Excellent. That's Proud Daddy. Comments from Proud Dad. Very nice. Any other comments for the Ampersand Young Men's poster? And thank you, Akwesi, for giving the initial description of it. Great job. Okay. So we'll move on to our next poster. This is from RM, picture of a brain with basically opioid pills with weapons attacking and causing damage on the brain.
I like it looks like where the orange is, that's a fish. I don't know, like,
oh, what? Okay.
It kind of like depicts like, hey, once you start using drugs, then your brain will seek it and go catch more, kind of. So I'm not really sure, but I think it's really cool.
That is. So actually, I thought that was a weapon, but actually that's a fishing pole.
That looks like a fishing pole.
And so I don't know if the idea of bait, how, you know, you trick the fish to bite the artificial lure or something, and then it's hooked. So this could talk about how opioids bait you into taking them, and then they catch you like you're on like a fish caught on the line, you can't get away. Interesting.
Yeah, this is again one that you got to study it to get. And thank you for that. I didn't pick that up. I think Miss Shadana may have been the one that said that. And if you look at the top, the opioid is doing a moon landing basically and planting its flag in the brain. That's my depiction of what's going on. Somebody on here says this poster could win a national contest because it says a lot in a simple way. I don't know if I read all of that, but yeah, they're like the lunar landing on the moon, planting the U.S. flag in the brain. So that was well thought out, very well thought out.
And for those of you who know brain anatomy,
Mhm.
isn't that the prefrontal cortex? It's like the decision-making
Mhm.
part where you make all your decisions, and that's interesting.
I like that, DB.
What is the red there?
The red.
Is that like the brain stem? Like that?
I thought that was the brain stem.
Okay.
But
Is
I
it
have
the
to ask,
pituitary?
Could be.
could be. I have to ask now.
Say that
reason I
again?
tell you-
Is it the pituitary gland?
Okay.
But I also saw the opioid in the prefrontal cortex area. It also looks like it could be an axe, and now he's chopping off the parts of your brain that are used for reasoning.
I thought of that as well,
Okay.
as opposed to
So-
flag. I also saw the axe potential.
Mhm.
So I don't think this was intended, but I don't know. But I see something completely different a little bit. I see a pot holder. I see a pot holder hanging up
I see
by
it.
like a seat, like a push pin. And I can see that as, being a caution of how dangerous drugs are.
I can see how you see that, Lionel. I think to piggyback on what someone else said, I also the bigger circle, gray circle, I saw that as an axe, or it could be an axe where kind of going on the anatomy side as well, where like the synapses are not connecting because of those drug choices or choices to use drugs. So there's a disconnect happening.
I will make it a point to ask Arm his interpretation of this. I tried to get him to write something down, but he didn't want to. So I guess he was intentionally like an artist, leaving a lot of opportunities for interpretation before revealing what it actually means. Very
think
interesting.
Somebody wrote in the chat the comment about the national, what was it?
National competition?
I think they were referring to the previous poster. Let me look and see.
Yeah, I think that there was a comment underneath that said referring to the previous
Oh,
poster.
okay.
So that was the one by the Amberson young man. Okay, great. Any other comments on this one? If not, we'll move on. To a wonderful entry from Corey McKinney. Actually, Colleen, I'm sorry, is Corey available to say anything about his poster?
Yes, he's here.
Okay. Corey, would you mind sharing a little bit about the inspiration for his poster? I'm sorry,
Yeah. I'm a foster child.
You're not a foster child. You were a foster child.
Yeah.
Was adopted.
What?
Our home is a foster home.
Our home is a foster home, and
He has gone totally blank.
Okay.
So,
Corey, you did a great job on this. We really appreciate your entry.
Our home is a foster home, and we've fostered infants from 0 to 2 years old.
Okay.
And so Corey has seen the effects of the opioids and what it does to families.
Okay. Wow.
And so, he's quite familiar with this because we've gone to the hospital and picked up many drug affected children who were, just born. So he understands, he sees how this road is. He sees the full picture of
where this all has led in some cases, where it's going in some cases. So he's shy too. So
Okay, Corey, you did a wonderful job. We really love this entry. Thank you.
Yeah, this is from my perspective tremendous. I mean, the thought that goes in to see this vicious circle. He names the road the Vicious Circle Road. It's something that I had to study. The first time I saw it was after it'd been up a while. I came in a little late, but it is very, very thorough and concise and points out so many different things that go on in this vicious circle of road that's there. I really like what was depicted here. And again, it had some solutions. You can help by asking questions. Vicious Circle Road is not a place to live. This was tremendous.
Yes, indeed.
One thing that when I saw this the first go around, I was thinking like, man, like this is really powerful. It's either a person who's gone through something really significant or has someone in their family is like a social worker or something of that nature. That's kind of what came to my mind. And like, I love how it talks about trauma and how like when we kind of neglect the trauma, there's many different places that you can land. So I love that just the wording in this is pretty powerful. And I love the circle. It's not a full circle. It's not like a loop, which kind of represents our lives. Like our lives aren't like this circle. There's so many different tracks and so many different curves and bumps and all of that in our lives. And I also kind of like the red in the middle that can kind of represent so many different things. So Corey, I'm not really sure what that red represents to you, but this is very powerful, very powerful. And now knowing your history, I understand how you could come up with this. So kudos to you. Great job.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I have to admit, this is one of my 3 favorites. And that's tough choosing.
So I kind of see this as being like generational, where, this can be like a generational curse almost, where this, kind of happens to somebody and, the kids that might end up in foster homes, they need to take a different route than the route that their parents take, so they don't end up back on that same circle, and their kids don't end up sat back in that same circle.
Very nice.
There's a comment that says trauma, jail, foster homes, hospital, mental health. Pretty much, Corey definitely covered everything.
Very good. Very, very good.
And I really like, you can help by asking questions. This kind of talks about, not necessarily you're that person that's using opioids, but more so like just bystanders. Like you can help out by asking questions, like talk to people, be curious about like, hey, what's going on with you? And I think that can definitely help that person just kind of bring awareness to their situation and help them to know that there is help out there as well. So it's a lot to be said.
So actually, here's a question for Corey, the artist. Corey, is the road actually, is that a brain, or is that no?
No,
okay,
it's not a brain.
Okay, interesting. Excellent. Any other comments on Corey's work? I like one comment from the chat box. This is a great one. Says so much. Vicious Circle Road is deep. This is another national contest entry. Trauma, jail, foster homes, hospital, mental hospital. He covered everything. Great job. Great job, Corey. And then, sorry, Jenny mentioned the poster before, brain poster before. It looks like a Salvador Dali work, like the destruction of the brain, and some other comments. Beautiful comments and very encouraging for our wonderful artists. Okay, so we have, I believe, 2 more to go over, and this one was by, is this Cameron?
Yes, it was by me.
Okay, Cameron, would you please share with us your inspiration for this and what you'd like for us to get from this?
My inspiration for it was coming from a Hulu series that I had seen, which was Interventions. And I had seen the type of drugs that they were using. But I also had looked up other dangerous drugs, which you can see there was ketamine, oxycodone, shrooms, Adderall, and then there's cocaine. You can see it like kind of like on the little handlebar.
Mm-hmm.
And it is really graphic, as you had said when we first took a look at it. But she's not like melting into a drug, but she's slowly dying because those are the hands of death that are taking her away from the family that she once had with her. I want to to put out that drugs can slowly kill you and take you away from the things that you really did care about once before you went to this.
All I can say is, wow. Thank you, Cameron, for sharing great insight on that. How old are you, Cameron?
I'm 14.
14. Wow. Very deep.
Otto, I second that. Wow. I had a chance to see this being created, and I didn't know where it was going. I had no clue as to how crafty the thought process as well as the art was going to end up. So I can say again, this is one of my faves without question. It just goes above and beyond in a lot of different ways. But you have to study it. So I can see more the more I study it.
Yeah, the details in the drugs in the face region, and the words, yes.
So this is striking for a lot of reasons. This just grabs you. This grabs you. And I just think it's a very powerful warning, very graphic, powerful warning. If you are a young person and you are not scared to use illegal drugs, I think this poster will give you an idea of just how scary life can be and how close you are to death, how close to death drugs can take you. So I think this is very graphic, and I think it will, people who may not take drug use very seriously, they see it and you realize how scary and how real and how it's just very striking, very striking. I can't even express all the feelings I had when I'm watching it, when I'm really looking at this.
Yes. Yes.
It's a warning with very few words. It's just, like, wow. Very few, as a matter of fact, really no words except for the description of the drug.
But it's very powerful. It's very powerful afterwards. Yes. You get the point across very well.
Cameron, I think you did a beautiful job on this. It's pretty amazing. I love how you depicted what drugs can do for you, like slowly kill you. Um, I also love how even though this person is addicted, and the hands of death are upon that person's life, that person is also still reaching out and hoping, holding on to that hope of what was, you know. And I think when you have that, you know, there's possibilities. So I think it's really powerful. I think that a lot of these drawings can, you know, you guys could teach the DARE program a thing or two by the artwork that you guys have depicted here. So this is really amazing. And I encourage all of you guys to keep drawing, keep using your talents to kind of get the word out, to educate. Great job.
Somebody had wrote through the chat. Let me see if I can pull it back up. Wow, Cameron, this is awesome. So many national contest posters. I want to share these with the funder. So that's someone's comment. I just want to say again, the artistry, the graphics, I think Lionel depicted what it was, but this reminds me of the movies of like the Dawn of the Dead, where someone's skin and flesh is rotten in front of you from that. So it is a tremendously powerful and well depicted example of the downside. And I think, as someone said, it should scare you. It should scare a few people.
Can I also add that
Sure.
I think it's also definitely showing how drugs can separate you from your family, how it can destroy families.
Yes.
And it's, you know, it's scary and it's sad at the same time, because you can see how, you know, that person is reaching out for their family, and maybe that drugs is kind of separated from their family. And so now all of the, you know, the wonderful times is just a memory. It's just a picture, you know, compared to what they're in now because of the drug use. So it's very powerful.
And the color collage, I mean, there is the life color in the face and hands. And then you got the dark colors, which obviously lead you to think about gloom and doom. So again, this was tremendous message, but also tremendous art, tremendous subtlety of message, tremendous subtlety of art.
I also like how, and Cameron, you can say like you're way off, but I love how you use color to depict death and the effects of drugs. And it's the black and white of the family is kind of like life as this person once knew it is kind of fading away from them. You know, even though they have that hand of hope out, is kind of faded out. It's like, you know, a black shirt in a wash or black jeans in a wash. Over time, it just kind of fades a little bit. So.
Thank you.
Welcome.
So it actually, Colleen made a comment. How much is this one? I would love to purchase it. So, so with the permission of the artists, I would make any of the. I have Tony sent the ones that he has, so I have. Anyone who'd like, I could provide a copy of this presentation, and you know, you could use or with the permission of the artist. So,
and with the permission of the artist, somebody may be able to get the original and enter it in other contests. I mean, I don't think she's close to that. She have to speak for it, but.
Very nice, excellent. So, any other comments on this one before we move on? So, we have one more to talk about. Any other comments on this one? Beautiful work, Cameron. Okay. And then here's our last one. Love the colors, beautiful colors.
This is obviously an artist, without question. an artist extraordinaire. Let me ask, Liz, are you there? She was on.
Oh, okay.
Liz, are you there? Did you have to go?
Oh, it would have been great to hear. I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. It's fine. I was just looking for her. Yeah, it looks like she dropped out.
Sorry. So it just, just brings up so many images, so many words, such emotion, even, not, or like even thinking about the people who've had lost loved ones to opioids. And the mom's grave looks like it's still open. So is that potentially, there's still hope, but there's the possibility of not coming out, not having the outcome we would like, but so much. The roses coming out of the pill bottle. What does that say? Help.
Is that an actual
SAMHSA.
800 number?
It's the SAMHSA, the substance abuse website.
Okay.
Oh, okay. So that's the actual number that you can call for help, I think.
It says your dry bones can awaken. Just keep fighting until you can feel the beauty on the other side. Someone wrote, I've been waiting for this one, another awesome one, national contest. Yeah, this is, again, like the last one, a tremendous message, tremendous art as well. You have to study it. There's just so many things. The skeleton Otto that you mentioned. The mother's grave is like dug. So it could suggest that she hasn't passed, but that the life she's living, that they've already perceived that that's where it's leading. Whereas all the others, they got the headstones. The mom has the headstone, but it has a grave that's dug and no casket in there, no covering of the ground. Almost being prophetic or whatever. The color collage is outstanding.
Beautiful.
This and the last one, I just think are above and beyond. And there's so many that are good.
Yes.
So there's so many that are good, so many that are comprehensive. I mean,
so I just want to say, I think this is definitely a poster of hope. And it just kind of letting you know, even though you're in that dark place, there's hope, right? If you call and you get that help, one day you can, feel, you can be free. You can feel the sun and the flowers and go back and just enjoy life. But you have to fight for it. You have to want it. You have to fight for it so you can get out of the dark place that you're in now, and you can see that light at the end, and enjoy that you're going to have on the other side. So I think it's very hopeful for those who are in the fight now, who are fighting that addiction.
And it's even powerful. I study bones and I love bones, but bones are usually taken as lying down and inactive. The skeleton is dancing, which again symbolizes what Lon was talking about in terms of the hope. And then even the statement, your dry bones can awaken. This is could be a reference to the book of Ezekiel and the dry bones, which is famous Negro spiritual, as well as a great passage in the Bible.
Also, speaking of that too, you know, it ain't over till God says it's over. And those bones have not been laid to rest. So when we all know that, you know, a lot of people have trouble getting help because they know what withdrawal and all those things, you know, the toughness of it all. But if you just have hope, if you just take it day by day, once you get on the other side from, you know, that life of the dirt, and you get, and that sun hits your face, and that hope and that joy and all that the grace of God gives you in that area, you can get over it. You can move on over it, but you have to have the hope.
Definitely. Beautiful words. Thank you, Colleen.
Just want to say again, I think the last two, you know, taking it from a layman who was never good at this, and that's drawing or painting or all of that. The last two seem like professional artists already in their own stead. It just strikes me as something that I could put up in a museum, and it could stand behind or stand beside or be shown beside other great pieces or works of art. However, with all kinds of different messages. So
yes, definitely. Beautiful work. Any other thoughts on this? So let's give all of our artists a rousing hand. The youngest to the oldest, they did a wonderful job.
Yay!
Blew my expectations out of the water. Honestly, honestly. So everyone who entered should be commended. I don't even feel worthy to even mention the word judging, because they all are winners in my book. All are winners in my book. So we will be awarding gift cards. So Tony and I will work together to get the address and get the gift cards to everyone who participated. Technically on our grant, we can't give prizes, but we can give gift cards. So again, just from the bottom of my heart and from the bottom of Tony's heart, we would just love to thank you for submitting your artwork. Thank you to parents for supporting you and doing this. Played a very key role in making this happen. And we'd like to, again, thank you all for the wonderful comments that were made, and just to help us to understand these at a deeper level. So thank you again.
Thank you.
Dr. Otto?
Yes.
Just a question. Can you let the people that are on know, like, how is this going to be judged, or whatever is going to take?
So we've already made the judgment.
Okay.
They're all winners. So everyone will be getting a gift card for participation. And, you know, it would be, there's just so many different nuances in the different areas that, you know, I would, like I said, I would feel unworthy to unworthy to be the president of these great artists. But again, just thank you, and you'll be awarded gift cards.
Thank you for letting me know that. I would not want to have to try to judge. You know, I had my favorite three, but you know, there were some that weren't far behind. So I wouldn't want to be on that hot seat. And please do not include me on that hot seat.
So as I say, everyone is a winner. This is just
great. Thank you.
Beyond, above and beyond. So again, Tony and I will be working to get everyone the gift card that they so richly deserve. It's just a small token. You know, like we could give you thousands and thousands of dollars again. We're going to have that in the budget, though. So thank you again. Thank you. Give everybody a hand of applause again.
Thank you again, everybody.